My fiancé's late wife's family vandalized my car and I gave him an ultimatum. My name is Emily. I'm to 7F and I'm engaged to my fiancé Daniel. 31M. We're supposed to get married next July, here in Colorado. When we first got together, he told me that he had been married before. He was only 22 when he married his college sweetheart, Hannah, but tragically she passed away after a botched surgery caused sepsis. When Daniel and I met, he was 27, and he still kept in contact with her family, mainly her father and her two younger sisters, Claire 19 and Rachel 25, at the beginning of our relationship. It was a tough pill to swallow. There were so many memories and history between them that I knew I could never compete with. He often spent time with Hannah's family on her birthday, on their wedding anniversary, and even on the anniversary of her passing. It hurt knowing the man I loved was revisiting moments of his past love, but I tried to put myself in his shoes. Over the years, I worked hard on my insecurities, and I eventually became secure enough in our relationship that it didn't bother me as much anymore. Last summer, Daniel proposed to me and I was ecstatic. I truly love this man with all my heart. But I found out not long ago that he never told Hannah's family about our engagement. I found out in the most awkward way possible. I stopped by a new coffee shop one morning, and who did I see behind the counter? Rachel. She noticed my engagement ring right away and gave me this cold, unhappy look. I didn't mention anything, grabbed my coffee, and left. Later, Daniel admitted that Rachel had been messaging him nonstop after she found out. I was upset he hadn't told them. He apologized and said it wasn't about hiding me, it was about not wanting to hurt them. He told me both I and Hannah's family were important to him. I decided to let it slide, as long as he promised to be upfront with them from now on. But things escalated. About a week ago, I got a long, nasty message from Rachel. She told me I'd never replace Hannah, that Daniel would choose Hannah over me every single time if she were alive, and that the only reason he kept me around was for money and sex. I ignored it, but it shook me. Because when you're in my position, those are the exact insecurities you battle with every day. I told Daniel, and he comforted me, promising he'd set boundaries with her so I'd never have to deal with it again. That would have been fine, except 2 days later, I found my car vandalized. Spray painted across the side were the words "whore" and "grave robber." The tires were slashed. The windows were cracked. I had worked and saved for that car for over a year. It wasn't cheap, it was my pride and joy. I pulled security footage from a store down the block. The footage was blurry, but you could clearly make out half of a license plate and the color and make of the car. It matched Rachel's younger sister Claire's car. I told Daniel I was going to the police. He begged me to hold off until he talked to them first. I said the only way I wouldn't press charges is if they apologized face-to-face and paid for the damages. So Daniel arranged a meeting. It was a disaster. Everyone was shouting. Rachel and Claire flat out told me they had nothing to apologize for. They said I should leave their family alone, including Daniel. They claimed he was betraying Hannah by moving on and that if he truly loved her, he'd never marry again. They said they didn't care if he had a girlfriend because eventually he'd realize Hannah was his one true love and dump me. But the fact that he proposed and planned to marry me, that was unacceptable to them. Claire even told Daniel to his face that he'd never love anyone the way he loved Hannah. Daniel broke down crying right there. I grabbed him and we left. On my way out, I told them I'd be filing a police report and suing them for the damages to my car. The next time they'd see us would be in court. That night, after we calmed down, I gave Daniel an ultimatum. Either he cuts off all contact with Hannah's family, or we call off the wedding. I told him I refuse to live my life with this constant harassment, and I will not raise future children in an environment where they'd be bullied by his late wife's sisters. Daniel tried to argue that they'd never hurt a child, but I shut him down. He never thought they'd vandalize my car either. He called Hannah's father the next day. Her father was surprisingly calm but still defended his daughters, saying I was controlling and cruel for trying to sever ties, but from where I stand, I don't see another option. I love Daniel, but I can't and won't live like this. Just because we're getting married doesn't mean I have to accept being harassed, disrespected, and threatened by people who can't let go of the past. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Home Exposed for more shocking Reddit stories.